Welcome to the Bet Elevator, guys. Episode 3 of the Bet Elevator for UFC 274. My name is Lou Betcha. With me, as always, my co-host, with his dog going insane in the background, is Mike.
He's going nuts.
Pod. How are you tonight, Mike? Excited for this card?
Yeah, dude, I'm hype. Today was a little crazy, threw everything a bit off, but still hype. Hype to see how the whole Charles thing affects the fight.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Anyway, this is the third episode. If you haven't tuned in before, the idea of the show is a little different spin on props, where we're going to go through the fights one by one. We're not going to offer a hardcore technical analysis. If you've been watching shows all week, you're not here for that. You're here for what your crazy bets are. Mike and I are going to bid. We're going to go up and up and up until the other person's like, I ain't taking that bet. And then that person must make the bet. We got a few people watching us live. Thank you guys for watching us. If you can, please like and subscribe to MMA Engine. Like the video. We appreciate it. And also go like Couch Warrior Pod. He does great work with betting, DFS. Guy puts in his work. He's currently not happy with Julia Budd. I imagine anybody that backed Julia Budd is not
sick.
thrilled right now. Just shout out to the chat. Hello, Zach. How are you? The weigh-ins. Yeah, it's a little interesting and kind of weird that we had 4 guys waiting toward the end to, that weren't heavyweights. As, we know the heavyweights kind of like to screw around and take their time.
All the half-pound weigh-ins was weird to me.
Yeah, and there are some conspiracy theories going around, but there's already conspiracy theorists on Twitter I've been seeing, so I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to just play it by ear. But let's go on to the show, man.
Let's do it.
First, let me launch our state-of-the-art fight studio here. If you guys give me 1 second. Mike, if you want to do some comedy while I'm getting ready, that's fine.
I don't have much comedy to offer, but we can drink.
Oh, no, that's for me soon. What are you drinking, by the way?
White Claws, as usual.
Is that your thing? Is it keto friendly?
Yeah. I'm trying not to get fat.
I have a buddy who has been doing the keto diet, and he likes those things. And as much as I resisted them for so long, they're not bad.
Not bad at all.
Now, my favorite beer is whiskey. That's my favorite beer to drink.
I'm a tequila guy myself.
Oh, yeah. When I drink tequila, I like to call it time traveling, as in I don't know how it's tomorrow all of a sudden. But anyway, let's start. The first fight of the night, Journey Newson, who, by the way, has one of the most terrifying tapology and profile pics I've seen, going against newcomer Fernie Garcia. Line is pretty close. Fernie Garcia, very small favorite. Mike, I'll let you start off. I don't love this fight to begin with. And I'm just going to give the viewers full disclosure. Like I did on my earlier show, the first 3 fights of the night, I probably will not have any action on, or I might have very little, because I will be getting ready for the Kentucky Derby, which I will give you a bonus pick at the end of the show with my Derby feelings. But Mike, I'll let you start this one off. What do you like for this fight and why?
Sure. So for this one, I ended up going with the dog shot. So I'll open us up with Journey Newson money line. I played that for a unit. I got a little bit better than what's out there now. I got plus 130, but I'm seeing plus 122 on Bet Rivers, plus 115 on DraftKings. I still like that.
Okay, yeah. So when I analyze this fight, and I won't do a hardcore analysis, one of the things I don't really like to bet guys coming off the contender series. What I like less is a guy that's going to open a humongous pay-per-view in front of a packed crowd. Well, not packed at 6 o'clock Eastern, but a busy crowd, making this debut against a guy in Journey Newson that I feel like it's been hard to really analyze what his potential is, because look what they've thrown him in with. Like, he debuts against Thomas, then he gets Randy Costa, he's had that's a pretty tough start to your career. I like what I see with Newson on the ground. I think he can neutralize Garcia, and Garcia is not a knockout threat. I know he's coming off a finish win, but this guy's not a traditional finisher if you look through his tape. So the only way I'm going to up you is I think Newson's decision at plus 250. I think Garcia is pretty tough. I think Newson can neutralize him on the ground. And also, from the mental standpoint, when you're in Newson's position of never having a UFC win, I think if you have to go to boring lay and pray in the third, you do it. Your dog agrees because he left. I know when Wheezy's dog, when Bootsy starts starts barking, I'm off to it. Right. The dog pick's great. So I'm going Newsy decision. I have it at plus 250. I don't know unless you like him in the distance. I kind of think that's
Yeah,
where
I
you and
do.
I are both at.
I am gonna one up you with I personally,
Oh,
I don't personally get the like when has Newson shown wrestling? You know, I feel like he's a boxing base, and he's been mostly striking. So and Fernie Garcia is so hittable, it's ridiculous. Literally every fight, no matter who he's fighting, he's just getting rocked in the face. So I kind of like Newson KO, and it's also plus 650 on FanDuel. So I
wow.
do like that. I haven't played it yet, but I will now.
Well, I'm
Well,
going
after this.
to I'm going to tap out on that, but I think I also may take a shot at the 650. Like I said, I don't really want to go heavy on the first 3 fights. I know I'm going to be distracted by like all the garish hats at the Derby but I like that poke at Newson KO. As far as like we haven't seen him wrestle, he has wrestling in his tape. He has good jujitsu, but I hear what you mean. I mean, Costa didn't give him any chance to wrestle, so let's just throw that one out of there. Like he didn't have time to even. I don't think he knew the fight started. He didn't even know. But yeah, maybe he gets on track here. Do you think his job's on the line?
Yeah, yeah. 2 losses, no contest. What do you know what he popped for with Pilare? Was it actual drugs or just weed?
It was just weed.
Oh,
So it's
that's
another
ridiculous.
ridiculous suspension. You know, it's ridiculous. Now, I'd like to answer this question from the chat. Do I have any Derby hats, Lou? Well, she's not listening to me right now, but my girlfriend is the creative genius of the household. And she has refused to make me anything because she thinks it has to have a floral bouquet. Whereas I'm like, hey, man, I got like a sombrero and I got like, I'm crazy. I don't know why that can't work. We can't figure something out. But Kristen, by tomorrow, I may have a Derby hat. I can't. If I do, you will be the first to see it. We got Mushroom in the chat.
What's up,
What's up,
Mushroom?
man? How you doing again, my man? Mushroom's this is his warm-up show for Lambeau. We're like the leadoff hitter for the Lambeau show. Let's move on to the next fight. Newson KO plus 650 was the winning play there. Let's move on to I don't know how Carlossi is 115 because she is jacked. But Arianne Carlossi against Luffy Godinez. This seems like a binary fight to me. I will lead this one off. I'm on the Luffy side. I think takedowns the order of the day here. I don't see a finish on the Godinez side. I'm not laying 190. Godinez decision plus 110. Good place to start us. And how are you doing tonight, Eric? Thanks for joining us tonight. No doobie smokers for Eric. He lives in Las Vegas. He is opposed to any kind of, chicanery and tomfoolery or off-beat shenanigans. We got Papa Chuck here, 30-27 decision, Loopy. I like the unanimous decision myself. I think it's 3 rounds of takedowns. But, Mike, you want to raise? Or do you just think that's the way it goes?
That's probably the only way to do it. I have Loopy parlayed with Fialo, so I'll probably add this as well, the decision, because I do think she wins that way. I don't see how Carlossi wins. It has to be a finish.
Yeah, I will tell you, I saw a lot of people. There's Carlos finish with Lupi. I saw some people on Twitter are on the Carlossi finish round 3 because that's what she came off of last fight. And, I think we're just seeing now that Estela Nunez isn't UFC caliber. I mean, she lost to Sam Hughes for Christ's sake. And she faded bad down the stretch. And it might be the kind of bet like, and we're going to get to Melissa Gatto in a second, but I had Melissa Gatto round 3 in her last fight against Sarge. It's not because I think Melissa Gatto is some elite finisher. I like these bets against gassers, and I think that's why Carlossi came through last time. I think this fight's actually mislined. I think Godinez should be 3-1, but I'm happy with the relief, and I'm happy with the winning condition at plus 110. I'm glad we're both on the same page there with the plus odds.
Sir.
You will lead this one off. CJ Vargara against Clinton Rodriguez making his debut off the tennis series. I will let you start without biasing this at all.
Yeah, so honestly, I'll get to it a little later. I feel like I have one that you're gonna like, but I'll start it off with I'm eyeing Vargara money line right now. I really wanted to go with Kleetzen. I really, really did. But A, the odds are ridiculous. And B, like he's making his debut, like you said, in a big pay-per-view. this is what, the third fight. Maybe there's gonna be a few more people in the crowd, and yeah, I just feel like at these odds, like Vergara's gonna put pressure on him. He didn't really get a challenge in the Contender Series because like Curatolo is good, but he's also tiny. So it was extremely hard for him to hit Rodriguez. I feel like this is going to be very different. So I'm riding with Vergara here, money line probably.
Well, you're gonna win this one then. I was on the Rodriguez side, but I was on Rodriguez by decision. I actually looked at time props here. The one thing I've seen from Vergara, I mean, Ode Osborne, I believe, is a gasser as well. I'm talking about people that gas late. And I had a bet on Ode Osborne. I believe I had a time prop. I think I might have had him round 1, round 2 in his last fight against Vergara. I wasn't impressed with Vergara's skill set early, but I liked what I saw in the third round. As Ode Osborne faded Vergara, he was precise. He wasn't landing like huge power shots, but he was landing. He was almost landing at will against Ode Osborne. I liked what I saw. So I don't hate the dog shot here. I can't. What odds did you get? Plus 240?
So I haven't bet it yet, but right now he's sitting at, you can get him at plus 300 on FanDuel.
Wow. Thank you, FanDuel. And by the way, while I'm here on my quest to let everybody know what a piece of shit DraftKings is that stole my money and will not explain to me why it's not here. The one thing I like about FanDuel is their philosophy is our odds are crazy juicy. If you like betting dogs, please come back to us. So I am happy to give FanDuel and BetMGM, who has treated me like nothing but a superstar since I've been with them, my money. Sorry for the cheap plug. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vergara side then. I really don't like taking the guys making their debuts. And I just made the case going against Fernie Garcia, making his debut in front of a raucous crowd. Yeah. By the way, have you ever seen the Waste Management Open? Do you know what that is?
No, I do not.
It's a golf tournament in Arizona, but it's the one, and I'm not like a golf, dude for the most part, but I like me some majors and reason to bet. But the Waste Management Open in Arizona is hilarious because it's the one golf event during the year where they encourage the crowd to be like Happy Gilmore movies. Like they encourage them to like just get after the golfers and like hoot and holler. And it's pretty hilarious. Like it's pretty fun to watch. And Arizona is just, hey man, that's a party. That crowd's going to be on you. Like, I'd be really curious to see how filled up the arena is when it starts because it's 3:00, 3:00 time there. But do you get these people at all, Mike? You pay good money for one of these tickets. Why the hell wouldn't? And if you're paying that kind of money, I assume you gamble on fights. How are you not taking it all in, man?
Yeah, dude. I went to UFC 268 and the Vergara
MSG?
Ode Osborne fight. No one was there.
Is that MSG?
Yeah. My backyard.
I would like to. Me and you will have to do that. I'm not too far away, Pennsylvania, right up the road.
If they ever come back to New York.
Oh, well, come on, man. I grew up in New York. It's
not UFC.
Oh, I still got a seat there. I'm allowed to come back. UFC should come back. All right, so we're going to roll it Vergara plus 300. Honestly, if you ask me to bet Vergara plus 300 or the Rodriguez decision at plus 155, I feel more comfortable with the Vergara decision. At least we know he can be there late in the fight, and we know he's tough.
Yep.
So I'm with you, man. I don't hate it. All right, so let's get to the fight that is maybe the MMA Twitter special of the week from what I've seen. Tracy Cortez against Melissa Gatto. Melissa Gatto undefeated. Very strange that she has 2 draws in 10 fights, but 8-0-2 is always a hilarious. It's kind of like having 2 safeties in a game. The score is all like weird. Tracy Cortez, the big thing I guess that people bring up with her, I'll leave this one off, is the Justine Quiche fight. But honestly, I didn't think Cortez looked good on the scales that day. I remember her looking like she had to weigh in twice. She just looked she looked off, and it showed. She got hit a couple of times. I mean, Keisha's not like some power puncher. And but Cortez got hurt a couple of times. Typically, though, Cortez, I think, is very good at the wrestling. She's not a finisher. I know most of MMA Twitter is on the Gatto side this week. And I know that Eric is apparently doing a biceps kisser of the week. Hey, Papa Chuck, I may have a draw for the week for you coming up. And a yam bag shot while we're at it. I'm just the more I talk to Wheezy, I'm just going to give him full credit for this. The more I talk to Wheezy about the bet, the more and more I like the Cortez side, and I like her by decision. I got it at plus 130. If she does what she does, remember Melissa Gatto did get a third round finish, and Gatto's dangerous. But the problem is, even if the judging's changed, it's so hard to win a round being off your back. And I think Gatto accepts the position. She's not a minute winner, so give me Cortez to dominate the first 2 rounds, and then maybe the third round is really weird. Hey Chuck, the yam bag draw is definitely a play coming up. So that's plus 130 is where I'm at. You want to top it?
I don't think I'm going to top it because I'm on Gato, but she's, I believe, around plus 130. No, she's actually plus 130 on FanDuel, so it's the same. I got it at plus 150. I did like that. But in something that I guess is in your favor, Tracy Cortez is from Arizona, so she's got the home field advantage here too. And I do think she's got the wrestling here for sure. So I don't hate the Cortez decision either.
I would not want to tell Ortega any of this stuff because that's a bad man right there, Ortega. But so you don't like Gatto in the distance? You just think do you see a path for her to win by decision?
You know, when I bet her money line,
sorry, I'm tempted you.
I did think that she had a chance by decision, but the more as the week goes on, I do think her only shot is probably a finish. So technically I should bet her by finish, but I don't want to overextend this week. I feel like it's going to be a crazy night. So
okay, so you and I are divided with the same odds.
Yep.
But plus 130 is what we found. Now, before I get to the next fight, I noticed that Tapology changed their fight order, but it doesn't seem like that's the official order because I believe in the book of Marcel.
I was about to say, what does Marcel have?
Well, this is what Marcel has, and this is what the UFC website has, but Tapology had Trinaldo here, but I'm just going to go with the order that I had seen before. So Cameron Van Camp, who I realize does not have the space between Van and Camp, apologies, against Fiallo, whose stats I have not updated because this is still a test database. So Andre Fiallo, the guy on the roster, he won most likely to be real life Mr. Potato Head. The guy has a weird head. That's just all I have to say about him. Coming off an awesome performance against Baeza only 3 weeks ago. I love that he went to Dana White and said, dude, I just need to be active. Like, I want to fight 6 times this week. He's Portuguese Chris Curtis as far as I'm concerned. I'll let you start this one off. I don't know what you've seen in the tape with Van Camp. So if you have any plays on him, I'd be shocked. But that's what you're here for, man.
No, what I wanted to like was Van Camp sub round 3. It's plus 3,100, but I don't like it because I don't think he's going to survive. I have Fiallo.
Where are you seeing those props? A lot of these sites, a lot of these books. My buddy uses Barstool, and he can't even bet anything other than money line right now.
FanDuel.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the plus 3,100 if anyone actually thinks Van Camp can survive, but I don't think he can. I have Fiallo by KO for 2 units at minus 135. Yes, minus 1. I keep losing on my paper. Yeah, minus 135, 2 units. That's what I got here.
You have Fiallo. You said KO.
Mm-hmm. Minus 135.
So I mean, I'm big on the KO prop here too. The only thing I am gonna top you, although really it's not by much. I think this is a round 1, just a destruction. And I don't like playing round 1 props. You know, me and you and I look at these like we're like, well, what's round 3? Right. But I mean, I don't from taping Van Camp, I feel like he falls into takedowns. They're like, well, he can grapple. I'm like, yeah, but can he? Like, I wasn't impressed. And these are like, I mean, look at the records of some of these guys he's facing on the regionals. I mean, he's facing like I'm just gonna pull it up right now, but he's facing
guys over at B2, right?
Yeah, but he's facing guys that I mean, he's not struggling, he's a finisher, but like you'd expect that from a guy getting a spot on a pay-per-view that he has some finishing ability, but 15-5 for a regional guy, not super impressed. I mean, he lost to a guy that was 32-13, Bobby Volker, who I couldn't even stomach the tape, but
that's a UFC vet.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't go. I'm saying is I couldn't do all the tape. Like, I'm unprofessional. I'm so sorry. But there's nothing from Van Camp I've seen that's impressive. And, you know, I don't like doing MMA math because it's really hard to know what we have with Baeza now. Maybe the Baeza wins are kind of not as good. But Fiallo what's he supposed to do? He mowed him down nothing. So the short turnaround doesn't bother me. I'm just taking him round 1 at plus 180. You're going to go anything?
No, I won't go any higher.
I mean, I could have done round 1 KO, but the props have been really hard to come by this week. So
you don't have it. I'm looking at it now. It's on. What did you get round 1 for? Plus 180, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's plus 195 for KO. So
yeah, I mean, I just keep the 180 then.
What if he gets a guillotine?
Right. Well, right. Then, like, how much do you hate yourself? Like, how much do you hate yourself if you're like, well,
I bet Julia Budd, so I really hate myself. But
I don't want to bring up like 2 weeks ago where you had back-to-back round 1 Canadian submissions, from guys that just never get subs. But that's why I'm saying is, like, don't get locked in. I think this is a good lesson. Like, never get locked in on, like, if you can get in the distance and it's like almost the exact same price as the KO for a guy's KO guy, dude, just taking the distance. You never know, man. Freak DQs, like, weird shit happens. Like, you're here to win bets, man. You're not here to be like, I'm a genius and I saved 5 cents on my line. But you never know what happens. All right. I'm not going to lie to you. This is strangely like one of my favorite fights on the card.
Really? Maybe I don't have a single bet yet.
I'm a sick fuck. I just am. By the way, so I don't know if you guys know Tajik. I love Tajik. I talk to him. He's like one of the nicest people. Like, honest to God, Tajik is like seriously one of my favorite people to ever talk to. He's really funny. I talked to Tajik yesterday before he went on the air for Probability, and I said we were just having a conversation about something with Pub Sports Radio that I don't want to bring up, but I said, Tajik, I'd love to do a show at you one day, my man. You're the GOAT. And he goes, I would only ask that you don't curse, which I said is an incredibly fair thing for him to ask me. So we did Probability, and I said, I'm not going to say one curse word on the show. And I did. Wheezy said like 90 curse words. So like so our average was intact, but I was like, I could feel myself ready to be like, fuck shit, ass. And I just kept it all in. So
I can't.
Anyway, so speaking of ass, we have Marcos Rosario de Lima versus the Bulgarian Fitty Cent, Blagoy Ivanov. Sorry, guys. Why they made this fight is beyond me, but like I am kind of here for it. His overall record of 0-0 is not correct, just so you guys know. I will start this one off. I'm on the Blagoy side like 1,000,000%. I actually have 3 bets on this fight. And I'll start with the cheapest one. I'm going to take the sub prop at plus 550. I feel like we've seen De Lima wilt. Like, he's going to punch Ivanov in the face for 3 minutes. And Ivanov is like, bro, I got stabbed 15 times. Like, your punches me nothing. Like, and you could point to the fact that Rothwell's had durability, but I mean, Ivanov is like, he's like, I don't care, dude. Like, this is like Thursday night for me. Just hit me in the face. And we've seen De Lima not even really be locked in subs and be like, I'm done. This cardio is shit. So I'm all one. Oh my God, the guy he threatened to sub. He's like, I'm done. Like, nope. And then like, I mean, I know De Lima wanted to sub one time or a decision with Maurice Green in like why either one was ever allowed to fight again after that fight. Because that's the kind of fight that Dana White's like, get the fuck out of my league. Like, I'm never letting you fight. But heavyweights, he lets stay around for a little bit. So I'm on Ivanov sub at plus 550. If you top me, I'm crushing you.
Nah, that was my highest bet. I'm probably gonna play Ivanov sub, but that's it for me.
Well, my other 2, just for the fun of the show, is I like round 2 at plus 650, and then why not combine them? I saw round 2 sub at plus 1,900.
That's nuts.
I mean, I can't believe I'm going to do 3 bets on this turd of a fight. But I like this fight for whatever reason. I feel like my read is really good on like the fight script. I just think, imagine holding the De Lima ticket, round 2 starts, and he's like, ugh. Like,
I
you
think a lot
never
of
want to
people
be
are
all in that
looking at the
thing.
Maurice Green fight and seeing that he like grappled for 3 rounds and thinking he can like survive, but he doesn't normally like do that. Like Maurice Green
Yeah.
isn't like he's not great.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know what turtlenecks. This is just this is
Yeah, I
from,
wasn't sure.
so this is from, it's not Old Navy, it's Express. And I just like the shirt. I like the way it fits me, and it slims me down. I'm 155 pounds. I could fight for the title. I've been working out. I've been working out all day and doing like tons of amphetamines. Like, I am ready to fight Gaethje for the title just for the paycheck. But let's move on to maybe not my favorite fight, but definitely my least favorite fight. And that would be Francisco Trinaldo against Danny Roberts. I actually do have a strong opinion on a bet here, but this is your turn to lead off. What do you have for if the fight order is wrong at this point for the next couple of fights? I apologize. It's, well, Paul is telling me not, it's too lethargic, and I understand that. Paul, if I may tell you, it's one of these bets that's like 100% against the fighter and not because of like even off skills. I have to take a stand with that kind of thing, like every once in a while. Anyway, bless you.
Sorry.
Trinaldo and Roberts. What do you got, my man?
I'm on Roberts. I'm not sure if you're on Trinaldo or where, but I'm on Roberts. I got him at minus 104, and I see you can still get that on FanDuel. Minus 108 on Bet Online. Yeah, for me, it's just that look, Trinaldo is like ancient. I know he's like 40 something, but he's really like 70 something. He's looked so slow, and he only looks slower and slower each fight. He's up at 170 now, and I don't think he's been looking great here. I don't think very highly of Danny Roberts either, and I don't think he won his last fight, but I'm definitely leaning him, and for slight underdog odds, I like him to win.
So here's my problem with this fight in general. I don't think Roberts beat Amiv. And I think it was one of these fights where the judges said, we're gonna punish somebody for doing ground attack, like doing nothing on the ground. Because Amiv controlled a lot of that fight, but he didn't do anything. Now, I think Trinaldo can enact that same game plan, but then also Trinaldo is allegedly 43 years old. Now, when I say allegedly, he's a little leathery for my taste as a human being. Like, I doubt he's 43, but I'm not the age police. What I do know about Trinaldo is he could kind of enact the same game plan as Amiv. I think he has better wrestling. Roberts has been finished in like all his losses, but I don't know how he's not getting finished here. I think Trinaldo finished Jai Herbert, but that's how Jai Herbert loses. He gets finished. Like, that's just his thing. They're both coming off split decisions. So I'm just going to take the easy way for this. I think the fight's going to end in a split decision. It's plus 470. It's plus 475 on DraftKings. I just think this is another one of those fights where you just root for it to be like bullshit. And you're like, Sal D'Amato has it. And you're like, I win. Oh, I win. Like, done. Sold. So I got plus 475 for this. Do you have, and Trinaldo by split is plus 900, by the way. But I just think I learned my lesson last week with the Collier fight. Just take the split decision. You want top 475? You like Roberts in the distance, you could probably top it.
No, I don't think I like Roberts by decision, if anything. I'm happy with just the money line, but I think I'm going to bet the split too. If DraftKings lets me, it's weird in New York with some of that stuff.
They cap you with like, well, DraftKings is like the worst goddamn site ever. I'm going to keep saying it on my shows until people realize it. But yeah, I mean, I have a buddy in New York who says he's like got weird caps at some of his bets. Like, you only bet like $13 on certain things, and he's like a new DraftKings guy. Like, it's weird to see that. But in all fairness, DraftKings does not want you to win money. Like, they rate limit people constantly. They're terrible. Maybe I'll make a video on this channel one day of how much their VIP program sucks compared to last year, and like how they became not player friendly. Because maybe somebody will watch and be like, DraftKings is kind of the worst. But anyway, let's move on to a more exciting fight that will probably not go to a split decision. Two great nicknames here. And by great, I mean Matt Danger Schnell, because the nickname generator could not come up with anything better, against the Raw Dog, Brandon Royval. Just so you guys know, these are the right pictures. I didn't clone the picture for both. There's subtle differences if you look at the pictures. Like Royval has a tattoo. But their facial hair is kind of weirdly douchey.
Similar.
So I will lead this one off. So I like Royval to win. I'm going to take the easy start here. I'm just going to play Royval in the distance at minus 105. I think he's better than Schnell everywhere. I will say this with Schnell. I think the odds are kind of crazy. I think the line is off. Schnell's had some bad luck even getting fights lately. Like this Alex Perez debacle is crazy. Like Schnell didn't look good. Then Perez was overweight. The whole thing's been a mess. So I'm glad to see that Schnell's getting a fight. The problem is, if you look at Royval right now, and you look at Royval's history, his last 4 fights are look at who he's fighting and then look at Matt Schnell. Fought Bontarine, but he was in trouble. Lost to Pantoja. Lost to Brandon Moreno. No shame in those losses. And then he beat Kai Kara France, who, if we weren't in this best of 19 series for the title, is the next challenger. So this is the easiest guy that now this is not a knock on Schnell. This is a huge step down from the guys that Royval has been facing. In this weight class, in my personal opinion, if you're Royval and you win this fight and you win it convincingly, your next fight might be a title, like an eliminator. You might be 2 fights away from a title shot. So I think Royval with style. I'm just going to say in the distance, and I'm going to let you top me.
Yeah, so I'm totally topping it. I'm on an island. I feel like I'm on Schnell. I just feel like he's serially underrated, to be honest. I feel like he has good hands. He's good pretty much everywhere. And he's only really looked terrible when he just gets folded in round 1. That's the thing for sure where Royval has a big advantage here is he creates chaos and Schnell kind of folds in chaos. So I definitely get that there. But I don't know. At plus 200, I kind of like Schnell. And I've also been looking at Schnell by decision at plus 450. Personally, I thought Royval lost to Bontorin. At least my biased opinion.
I don't think it's biased. I think it's debatable. Bontorin had him in a world. You also could have given Bontorin 10-8 in the first round, I think.
Yeah, so I'm on Schnell. I'll stop at the plus 200 or whatever it is now. Plus 210 on Caesars.
Well, here's the thing. I can't top that because I thought about playing Royval round 1. I thought about playing him in a prop. The problem with Royval is round 1's not his best round. It's not. It's Royval traditionally in the first round. It's not that he's a slow starter. It's that he fights guys that are also really good in the first round. So Royval, Bontarine in the first round of that fight, and I had a ticket on Royval. That was terrifying. Bontarine and then Bontarine's cardio is not very good. I think Bontarine's skill set was good. His cardio was not. And this might have been a case of him going for the finish when he knew he had it and emptying the tank. It's very possible. But I cannot top a bet on Schnell. I'm going to let you have this one. I will concede this. If this fight gets into the deep waters, I would get very concerned holding a Royval money line ticket. I'm not playing a money line. I'm just going to play him in the distance. So, yeah, but I don't hate the Schnell thing. And I even said, whereas Schnell is a step down, this is not a bad fighter. He's well. I don't know what he does really well, but I don't know what he does badly. Does that make? Do you understand? Do you?
No, I get it. I just honestly, I really like Schnell's hands. I feel like there's a lot to like there. Straight punches, good hand speed, good combinations.
I think you just like his nickname. If we're being honest. So we're moving on to the next fight. And by the way, guys, I said we have almost 20 people live. Thank you guys for tuning in on a Friday night. I really appreciate it. I know Mike does. And
oh yeah.
We're happy to give you the degenerate shit that you guys crave on a Friday night. So very grateful. And please go follow Catch Warrior Pod's Twitter. I don't care if everybody follows mine. I'm the worst, but follow Mike's.
Follow Lou too.
Also follow me. So we're up to, I will not use a certain nickname that my friend uses right now, even though I want to. Macy Chiasson against Norma Dumont. Mike, I'm going to let you lead this one off, but before I do, it has to be mentioned, Dumont looked like shit on the scales today.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not a big scale reader person. Obviously, Charles is a different story, not so much because of this weight miss, but more so because of what I think losing the championship like that's going to do to someone's head.
He didn't look like physically compromised in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, he usually looks a little drained, but yeah, so I'm on Macy here. I got her at plus 198. I think she's like plus 185 now. It's a risky one for sure. I don't have the utmost confidence, but I also I couldn't bet Norma Dumont at minus 220 and whatnot, and I didn't want to go with her by decision either because look, this is at 145. Macy's just started here. This is her second fight at 145. I think she's going to start filling up. She's huge, like 5'11", 72-inch reach. She's a big woman. So
hey, easy. It's Mother's Day weekend, man. Come on, man.
What did I say?
No, I know. And
mushroom.
That's the problem. No. You like the problem is like because I've had this problem all week. Like I'm not trying to like make anybody feel awful. Like it's funny. Like you're like, oh, she's a big girl at 145, and I'm like, okay, well, I like weigh a lot more than her. Like, well, I don't weigh a lot more, but like I weigh more
tall.
Than her. I know. It's like if anybody's watching this video, like we're not hating on like it's horrible to kind of like make these like to talk about things like that. And like I always feel bad saying like it's a big woman. It's like like but I love me a big woman.
Well, I do apologize if anyone got offended.
I don't think anybody's offended, but like it's a disclaimer. In case the MMA engine hits like massive heights, I don't want this video coming back to be like, well, look at that, man. Like, sorry, man. So you're on the chase on side at plus 1.
Money line for me. Yep.
Did you get it at better at plus? I'm sorry. Was it better than plus 1?
I got plus 198, which I really liked. I'm seeing you can still get that on FanDuel. FanDuel is crazy right now.
So I was going to top it on the same side and go Chiasson decision, but I'm going to be honest. Because I like Chiasson early in the week as a bet, more as a value spot. I think Dumont is the more skilled, but it's close. But the line was wide to me. I thought the line was wide, and I think it's recency bias with Pennington, getting Chiasson out of there. The fact of the matter is, Pennington, I think, is way better than we realize she is. Pennington is a really solid, strategically smart fighter. Like, she's good on the feet if she needs to go to the ground. Like, so she got Chiasson down, and that was kind of it. I'm gonna just stick with you on this. I'm not gonna outbid you. I do think Chiasson's decision, which I see at plus 330 on some books, maybe it's a little higher. I feel like that's probably her win condition. I think Norma's kind of tough, but after again, I didn't like her on the scale, and I don't want to read too much. Look, I've been burned by this scale narrative too many times. But if Dumont, especially at this weight class, if Dumont is kind of compromised, that finish might be in play. If you take Chiasson in the distance, I don't hate the play. But I think the plus 180 or 190 is more than enough for a fight that I think was lined wrong in the first place. So we are both on the same side of that. All right. We are moving on to which shockingly enough, are we on? Is this the first fight of the main card?
I think. How many fights do we have left?
I don't know. I've done enough shows this week where like I should. Well,
this is the main. This is the main card.
This is the last prelim. This is the main event prelim. Although to me, this is probably one of the best fights on the card.
Agreed.
I'm really excited about this. Randy the Rude Boy Brown against I can't call him Kalen. Chaos Williams. I believe this is your turn to start, so I'm glad. Because this is a really, I feel like however you bet this fight, if you win this bet, there's tons of money to make on the different the win equities that are involved here.
So I'll start with the favorite odds first. Disclaimer: I am on Randy Brown, so I do have slight dog odds there. But I'll start off with fight doesn't go to decision at -160 on Bet Online. I really like that. Both of these guys are really good finishers. Randy Brown has been finished. Chaos, he has not in the UFC, right? He hasn't.
No.
But he's a potent finisher himself. So I really do like for the fight not to go the distance here. And -160, I don't hate that.
So I'm just going to bring this up because this has been something I've seen talked about all week. And that is that I feel like Randy Brown, who I think is he's just coming into his prime as a fighter. Like Randy Brown's grossly underrated as a fighter. I feel like he's never going to escape him getting knocked out by Nico Price off his back. People forgive the Luque one because Vicente Luque is just,
Luque.
But people, what did I say?
Huh?
What did I say? Did I call him something different?
No. I was also saying Luque.
So, but the Nico Price thing is kind of like a weird outlier because, Price knocks people out from weird angles. Like, that's kind of how he wins. But you know what Price's win condition is? Winning weird. Winning hitting like a Spider-Man punch, or I know it's a Superman punch. I'm saying like a double web, palm to the face is like, oh, Nico Price won that way. I'm not surprised. That's how Nico
I did
Price
it 2
wins.
times.
What? Oh, that's how you've won a couple of fights?
No, I'm saying Nico Price has literally won off his back twice.
Yeah, he wins weird, it's like, no, Nico, no. Oh, okay, yes. Congratulations, good. I think Randy Brown just improving every time. But then, if I'm saying the Nico Price fight's an outlier, so is the one-arm choke against Cowboy Oliveira, where I was like, he's not going to choke him out. Oh, my God, Oliveira's the worst. So I think skill for skill, Randy Brown's the better fighter. The problem for me is I was really impressed with Chaos Williams' last fight. He went into deep waters. That they hit the ground. That was a very good display of Chaos Williams' skill set. I was really impressed with it. The problem here is this. I think Williams is durable. I think Brown is the better fighter. So to me, I settled on Brown by decision, which goes against the bet you just gave. I took Brown by decision. I saw it at +340 on some books.
That's good.
I just don't think Brown's going to finish him. And I think Brown's going to use vet savvy here. If you like the Williams side in the distance to counteract me right now, you're going to beat me. If you don't, then there's no bet you can find with Williams is going to be more than +330. Unless you want to take him by sub. Unless you're going to take him by sub.
No, I'm on the Brown side too. So, but I was looking at Brown by sub, but I don't remember what it was at. I got to look.
I have it up here if you want to know. Brown by sub. Oh, sorry, that's the round one. You don't want that one. Brown by submission's about +550 to 600, depending on your book.
Yeah, I kind of like a sprinkle on that, like a quarter unit sprinkle.
Yeah? Why?
I don't hate it.
I'm listening.
I know that Chaos has never been submitted. I know that he's fairly good at getting back up onto his feet. He only really got taken down by Pereira, right? I just feel like, look, I really like,
and he got up and he had good get up game, but yeah, he did.
I feel like I just think Brown is going to be able to break him over time. He's got how many subs in the UFC? I'm seeing 3 right now on his record.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily the most likely outcome, but at +600 with that possibility there, with Brown constantly improving, and I think Williams is really good already. I think he's still on his way up though. Whereas, like you said, Brown's kind of already at his peak or right about there. So I just kind of like the sprinkle there.
I'll tell you what, I hadn't even looked at that, but I think Randy Brown's fight IQ is good. And this would be smart of him to kind of take it away from being a firefight. Brown does not want a firefight here. So that would be a smart strategy. Look, with Oliveira, he didn't even get a takedown. Did he even get a takedown in that fight?
I don't look.
I don't think he did. I think he just got his back when they were against the cage. I don't think it hit the floor. No
takedown. Yeah, it was against the cage, literally with one arm.
I think Brown, I don't hate that as a play. I think Brown would be smart to do it. And look, Baez didn't really test Williams like grappling. Like they hit the ground, and it was kind of like they had like a weird 2 minutes of like, let's do subs to each other. Like, let's try this thing. I think Brown's vet savvy is interesting. I know they're only 4 years apart in age, but Brown does feel like he's been there for a really long time, right?
Well, the UFC experience is definitely in his favor, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, you could look at overall. You look at UFC cage time on the screen right now. I mean, it's 3-1.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
So hey, look, the engine pays off. All right, so now we're on the main card, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. We have. I'm just so upset about this fight for a lot of reasons. I'm upset because I like them both. By the way, the reason that you see zeros for Lozon's stats in our database is we're in test mode. We only go back 2 years of fight data, and there was no way I was adding all Lozon's fights. Ain't no way I was doing it. Ain't no way. So Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Joe Lozon, must mention, much like the Tracy Cortez fight before, Donald Cerrone will have the hometown edge here. He weighed in 45 pounds overweight today because he had his son. Why this fight is happening, I'm not sure, but I'm here for it. And is it your turn or mine?
Yours, for sure.
Well, I'm going to end it. Then I'm going to end it. You're not even going to get to speak.
I might be on with you, though.
Lozon round 1 KO plus 950. I've seen it at 10-1, but I
plus
have it at
950?
Yeah.
You know what I got it for?
Bet MGM. You probably got it at 12-1.
I got 14-1.
Oh my God, I love you.
Craziness.
I mean, look, I'm leaning into the two obvious things. I'm leaning into Lozon's winning condition. Like, that's how he wins, is round 1. I mean, he knocked out JSP, which is like, man, like a crazy good win to have. And I mean, we've seen what we've had from Cerrone. Now, the one thing I'll say is Cerrone's been off. Maybe he's healed. I mean, he was fighting so many times a year. Maybe Cerrone's had some time, but I know he's got the hometown advantage here. But like, man, I can't with his durability, man. I can't. And I have the under 2.5 as like a crazy parlay piece across the board.
I think we all have that.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, are you on the same play?
Yeah, that's literally the two plays I have on this fight: under 2.5 and Lozon round 1 KO. When I saw plus 1400, I was like, I have to play this because, like you said, it's his win condition. Realistically, I do think Cerrone probably wins, but like, am I gonna bet what is it, minus 170 on him? There's no way.
I have a bet that I made when this line first came out. Like, and I mean like weeks ago when I saw that. I think you and I talked about this. This is like when we were first like getting the show together. I said, I'm like, how the fuck is Cerrone minus 250? So I hit a bet on Lozon. There were no props, but I hit a bet on Lozon immediately because that line, and then like it got immediately hammered. But I mean, there's no way he should. This is an old person fight. This is like a retirement league fight. And I say that with all due respect, being older than both of them. But like, come on, man. Like, there's no way this fight that neither one of them should have been that big of a favorite. So, all right, well, let's move on. And just so you know, like, there are reasons that Mike knows that I will not reveal on air that I'm really upset that I had to make this bet. But moving on, if 75 combined years wasn't enough for you, let's move on to 78. OSP against Shogun, who yeah. I mean, go ahead, Mike. Have fun. I wonder, you and I have not talked about this fight, so I'm very curious to see if we're on the same side of it.
No, I think we're not. I do think OSP probably wins. Am I going to bet him? Hell no. I was looking at the under 2.5. It's kind of ugly though. It's minus 172. If
time,
I'll bring this up, and then if I win somehow, I'll bet it. But I think you're going to win anyway, so I'm good. But OSP round 1 plus 225, probably the only way I would want to play this. But I don't really want to play this.
All right, so I'm on the Hua side in terms of like and not, by the way, no strong conviction here. For no reason other than I was going to take whoever the dog was.
That's fair.
But Mike, you know what it's time for?
What's the time? Oh, the Ambag special?
You're supposed well, look, this is our third show together, so Mike will learn. You're supposed to say, "What's that, Lou?" You're supposed to set me up so I can have the shine. But yeah.
Oh, my fault.
It is time for the Yam Bag special at 20-1, because typically when I look for fights that I'm going to have point deductions in, I look for fights that just don't make any fucking sense. And you can't give me a fight that's been made this calendar year that makes less sense than this. Now, I said this earlier. I know, Mike, you're a wrestling fan. And I had said this earlier in my earlier show. When they make pay-per-view cards, because people are like, why the hell are these two? Why is this fight on the main card? Why is Cerrone Lowe's on the main card? And this is my WrestleMania philosophy. When they make WrestleMania, they don't care about you as a wrestling fan. You know why? Because you're a wrestling fan, you're going to watch. They care about lapsed fans. They care about casual fans that are like, oh my God, The Undertaker's on. Like, that's fucking awesome. They don't care about people that are wrestling fans because the wrestling fans are going to watch. Just like the UFC doesn't care about people that do content that are hardcore fans, because, look, we're complaining about Ketlin Vieira against Holly Holm coming up. We're still going to watch it because we're fight fans. They don't care about us. But this is the kind of event they want to get casual fans in, and that's why you're getting two really weird fights on the main card. Like, in all fairness, shouldn't Randy Brown and Chaos Williams be on the main card? Like, yeah. I mean, like, so that's the booking order. So that being said, I'm just going to root for nonsense. Now, everything about this fight should be an under, but I'm betting the draw.
I was about to say, how about the draw?
Because if I'm taking the Yan bags, I got to take a shot on the draw. Now, I'm going to hate myself the first round and a half. But if this thing goes to the third round, this is Kimbo Dada 3000 all over again. This is two dudes with no cardio that don't even want to be there. And I know they're not allowed to score around 9-9.
They are. They just don't.
The judges may look at each other and be like, yep. Like, they threw one strike each. Like, we're just calling this like a 9-9 round.
I'm also thinking it's possible OSP gets a 10-8 in round one, and then Ruo just wins the rest.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what we're getting with Hua and durability anymore. He has had some, like, look, if you look at the body of work, durability, he's had time off. So maybe, like, I know people are going to look at this Paul Craig fight and be like, wait, Paul Craig won a round? He never wins rounds. He just submits you. So that was a bad look, but yeah, I mean, look, as much as I like the time props, I'm just going to take my stand with the crazy shit for this fight. You can't top it. I think I literally have the highest odds bet on the board. So, like,
no, I'm going to play the draw with you here.
All right, man. I love it. So now that we've gotten past senior night at the at Shannondale, where my dad's playing trumpet for these 80-year-old birds, and my mom gets all mad because my dad says, these old birds, hey. My dad kind of sounds like Dice Clay, by the way. My dad's like, hey, is that my son? You look like my son. When you guys have a father in your 80s, you'll understand that it's like, I'm just glad he even recognizes me at all. What are we doing for the Derby, you son of a bitch? That was my phone call today with my father. He will give me the pick 1 minute before post time when it's too late to bet it. Then that horse will win.
Plug?
And he'll be like, huh?
Is he your plug for the bets on the horses?
No, I'm saying I don't know what my dad's gonna pick. I'm saying he'll call me a minute before the fight and be like, hey, take this horse. I'm like, it's too late, Dad. They're in a goddamn and then the horse will win. He does this for the Super Bowl every year. He's like, my dad doesn't even watch football. He's like, that Roethlisberger guy, they're gonna win. And I'm like, well, Dad, can I call my bookie? Like, you give me time to like get on the horn. He's like, that's gonna happen. Michael Chandler against Tony Ferguson. So you're up for this one, and I'm just gonna let you know. There's some crazy shit floating around. If you just want to go right to the finish here, I'd love to hear it.
Well, My main play here is the over 1.5. I think everyone's on that too.
I love it too. Yes.
But the highest odds I'm playing on this fight are I'm all over Chandler. I got him at really good odds. I got him at open at -200 and -220. So like I couldn't really pass that up. But that said, I do like my hedges with props. So I am going to play Tony Ferguson inside the distance +600. I personally don't think Tony can win a decision here. I really just don't see how that can happen. And if he wins, it's going to be by finish, I think. Can he win by finish? It's possible. Chandler in round 3 in his last fight with Gaethje, he was hands down just letting Gaethje rock him, right? So it's possible. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but I like it enough to play it too.
I like where Kristen's head's at here.
Don't hate it.
So I'm gonna not well, okay, look, I'm gonna say I'm tapping out here, but I'm not. Because I like everybody else, and I got this early in the week. I took the Ferguson round 3 shot. I got it.
Not a bad shot.
I got it at 29-1. I'm like, man. Now before we move on though, like this total is like when you saw this total, did you not agree it was like crazy, grossly mispriced?
Yep.
Like it's the total factors into Chandler's like, I guess, traditional winning condition, but like Chandler's not some round 1 or bust guy. It's weird. So Mushroom said this before about Ferguson round 3 decision. I think Mushroom, what do you get it at? +600? I think Mushroom got like awesome odds on this bet. Like you're saying Ferguson in the distance, but depending on your book, if you can get third decision the same price, I know you said there's not a path for it, but like why not take, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the other question I have for you is, does Chandler go to wrestling here?
I think he will. He's been talking nonstop in the lead up to this fight about how he knows Tony's going to bring in. He thinks this is the most dangerous Tony. Like he's been respecting his opponent. And what one fight I'd bring up that I haven't heard mentioned really is his fight with Gaethje Yamuchi over in Bellator. That's exactly what he did. And Yamuchi's a sub guy. Like he's dangerous off the ground, and Chandler didn't care, and he controlled him. I think that he's probably going to end up doing that here. He'll probably throw hands with Ferguson, probably round 1. He loves that stuff. But Chandler kind of slows down on the feet, and I think he's smart enough to take it to the ground and just win the fight that way. He needs a W. He knows it. He's not going to get cut, obviously, if he loses, but he wants a W here, and I think he'll get it that way too.
So to go with what you're telling, yes, I think he can do it, and I think he would be smart to. What I'm going to also bring up with this is that, you know, you can say you want, I know his job's on the line, but Chandler's 1-2 in the UFC. And that's just the fact. He's 1-2. If he's 1-3 after this, who's Chandler fighting the rest of his career in the UFC? He's getting like, he's a gatekeeper at that point.
Yep.
If he wins, even though it's against like a guy like Ferguson, who's, you know, not what he was, if he wins, all of a sudden that McGregor fight opens back up. I mean, the cash cow fight opens up. All of a sudden, like, and maybe not immediately, but like, we don't know how this title picture is going to flesh itself out in the next 6 months. But like, you have Makhachev, who's kind of in limbo right now. I don't think Chandler would, Makhachev would kill Chandler, if I'm just being honest, but it's a lot of money. That's a headline fight. That's a UFC, that is a headliner event. So I think when I get in this situation with guys like this, I feel like Chandler will pull out all the stops to win and not do, well, I have to just go like balls to the wall and like put on a show. I think with Gaethje, it was, let's put on a show. I believe that.
Absolutely.
So I think in this case, it's like I have to win, or like my career is like I'm fucked. So I think when you see guys do that, the wrestling does come out. But we've made it to the title fights, guys. There's 25 of you live. Thank you so much for hanging in. We got 2 fights left. And as far as the Tony picture, making him look 90, I mean,
my boy KRX.
Oh, look at this. So hold on. So George, this is my new best friend, George Montero. Schnell by decision. George, I don't know if you were here earlier, but the bet we settled on was a bet on Schnell. Like we're not, we're on the Schnell, and T Ferg by throwing sand is like Probably my favorite bet I've ever seen. Like I just said I'm on the third round. Like, yeah, I love it, dude. By the way, for all the people like, oh man, Ferguson sounded so weird, on the media day. It's fucking Tony Ferguson, guys. Are you new? Like, if he sounded normal and remorseful, there's where I'd be like, oh fuck, Chandler round one. Like, I'd be like, all right, he's done. He's a crazy motherfucker. Like, that's his thing.
Even for him, though, I was shocked at how he went after Dana, man. That was nuts.
Dude,
I
he
was
just,
very
why?
surprised.
Because he probably knows. He's like, I'm going to go box Jake Paul or Logan Paul or Chris Paul. He didn't give a fuck. He'd be like, cool, let me box one fight and make like $10 million. Like, look, man, a lot of these guys are just trying to get out of their contracts. And like we ain't here to talk about all that stuff. Like, but if Ferguson, I don't know what, look, Ferguson being weird is like, it's what I expect. So, all right, Carlos Esparza against Rose Namajunas. I think I'm up first because I think I'm all the even-numbered fights of the night. So, I'm just going to lay it out there. This is quick. I'm going to go on the Esparza side. But I want to say this. People that say the line is wrong, I think the line is perfectly lined. I think Rose should be a 2-1 favorite. I think Rose has fought the championship fights. Rose has shown knockout capability. But if you're going to give me somebody with a very clear path to victory, and I mean like a very clear path to victory.
To the point where she's already done it.
Well, I know, but I don't want to like go 8 years ago with that. But like, and I know Esparza has been in 8 rounds, in 5-round fights, but look at the run-up Esparza has had. Like, Marina Rodriguez, by the way, an awesome win. Like, coming off a finish against Jan, like, Esparza's done everything they've asked of her to get back to this point. She has earned this title shot. Dana White did not want to give her this title shot at all. She forced it. She has earned it. And it may not be popular to people the way she's going to win, but I just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And the one thing I worry about, if you're on the Rose side, is I think that Rose Namajunas, who I'm not a huge fan of, I will openly admit, I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of her, like, the whole, like, religious shit. And, like, dude, I'm just not a fan of, like, this weird, like, you're fighting. Like, it's weird the way you do this. The one thing I give her credit for always is she adjusts mid-fight so well. Like, so well. But I thought she lost her last fight. I'm just putting it out there. It was a robbery, in my opinion.
Robbery?
I thought it was a robbery, dude. I really did. And you know what's funny? I think I had the over. Like, I didn't lose money on the fight. I just got angry. I'm like, no, she lost that fight.
I had Rose, and I'm a big Rose fan. So I was hype, and I was there. But
all right, so I'm on Esparza at plus 180. I'm sure you're going to top me.
I am, but I think you might like it. So I am on the Rose side. I did bet Rose at minus 180. But like I always do with fights where I think there's a path for the dog, I played, so I found this on FanDuel, and I thought it was pretty nuts. I played Esparza by sub in round 3, 4, or 5 for plus 2,900.
Ooh, sign
she got around.
me up.
I know fights don't go the same every time, but
me up, dude. Wow.
29-1.
Oh. That is sexy, dude. Wow, really? Look, if she has early success too, I mean, the only thing you have to worry about if she gets one of these crucifixes again
and gets a KO.
Like, that's the only thing you have to worry about.
That would be nuts. That would be nuts.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. Especially because it's a title fight. It's live. You don't expect she's not getting a first round finish. Wow, that's still there.
It's a good question. Let me check it out.
Oh, I mean, look, even if you were on the Rose side, that's like a must bet, right?
That's how I saw it.
Holy balls, dude.
I do want to see if it's still there. It's got to be still there.
I mean, I know people have been on the sub prop. I've seen it.
Plus 1,500, also solid.
Just for sub.
Yeah.
If that round 3 to 5 thing is there, holy shit, dude.
So it's plus 22 now.
Okay, Prince of Mission said it's available. I still think plus 2,200 is really good. Like, that's For like, let's put it this way. If you like the sub, that's when the sub's coming. It's not. I don't think she's getting like a flash guillotine in like, you know what I mean? But
Rose does slow
wow.
down, I feel like. So I think if Carla's gonna have it, I think it's gonna be round 4 or 5, but three's also covered. So
this is what I love about this show that we're doing is that I like you and I are always like, we're prop hunting, like we're looking for crazy stuff. But I didn't even see that. Like, that's an awesome prop. So, like, thank you for bringing that up. If you guys want to take that in the chat, like, look, man, does it happen? Let's put it this way: it's 22-1. Does it happen 1 out of 22 times minimum? I think so. So I think, yeah, I mean that's really good odds. Like, also, I'm a sick degenerate, so you had me at plus. The second you said plus, I was like, I'm in. Well, we made it to the main event, guys. Nothing more to say here about like the narratives that have come in. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. We're a little over an hour of the show. I'm going to get you out of here, especially Mushroom, who I know wants to go watch the Lambo show. And I never want to compete with the Lambo show. It is one of my favorite shows. Mike, start me off, man. I know you're on the Chucky Olive side. Doesn't mean that's your favorite bet.
I've hedged just like I said for the last few fights. Yeah, I went on Chucky Olives. I was fairly confident in the pick, and I did get moved today. But honestly, I played my biggest prop here before even the weigh-in fiasco. Do you have anything good? Should I start small?
My bet's at plus 330, so let me know.
All right. So my first one was Oliveira sub plus 140, and even with everything that happened, I think that's still very live.
Okay. I'm going to check what DraftKings has it at now. But let's see if it's moved. I moved a little bit. So now it's plus 300. I have Gaethje round 1, round 2, plus 300. I think that's his win condition. I think if this fight gets extended, and this is not a knock on Gaethje's cardio. I think Gaethje is one of the most underrated fighters I've ever seen in my life. I really do. The Poirier fight was a fucking war. And Poirier just was on that run where Poirier was just couldn't be touched. And then he lost to Khabib. Oh, boo-hoo. And Khabib even said, he's like, Jesus Christ, like my legs are dying. Like Khabib has said he's never been kicked so hard.
Yep.
Like to me, but I've been on the Gaethje side all week because I just feel like if you watched Oliveira, look, this isn't in a vacuum. I think Gaethje's striking is more controlled. People think he's reckless. It's not, dude. Since he got with Whitman, look at him against Ferguson, man. That wasn't a reckless battle. That was calculated, like legalized murder. Like, I like the way Gaethje fights. The leg kicks are vicious. The more important thing to me, what's up, Monk? The more important thing to me is that it should not be Monk's favorite show. It should be tied for his favorite show with the other one that we did earlier in the day. Oliveira's been tagged in every fight, man. Tagged by Poirier. A different ref might have stopped that. Chandler, in a different universe, Chandler is the 155-pound champion. And Ferguson had success against them before they went to the ground, and then it became an annihilation. I think Gaethje has better takedown defense than all of them. I don't know that it's going to come down to it. But, man, Gaethje, what I worry about the most for Gaethje is if he gets caught a leg kick and it goes to the ground, it is problematic. This is nothing to do with the weigh-ins. I don't think the weigh-in narrative matters. And Oliveira's going to get the next title shot anyway against Conor McGregor, probably, because
if he wins, if he loses, man, I don't think so.
If he loses, I think we get like, well, McGregor is going to want no part of Makhachev. Like, it's like no part of that. That's
well, if Gaethje wins, it would be Makhachev Gaethje probably.
So Sean's coming in here saying Ferguson dropped Gaethje twice. Yeah, that was a war. I mean, I'm not saying that Gaethje can't be dropped. Gaethje gets hurt every fight he's in, too.
Chandler hurt him, too.
The problem is if I'm going to – oh, absolutely. The problem I'm seeing here is if you want to go chin for chin, it's Gaethje all day over Oliveira. And Oliveira's getting hurt. I mean, his last 3 fights been hurt. I don't know that if Oliveira hurts Gaethje and knocks him down and swarms for takedowns, that's his path. The problem is if Gaethje hurts him, I don't think Oliveira can recover. Like, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, honestly, Sean, I see you're on the Sean. You're not making bad points. I understand. Poirier finished him. Like, it's the way he fights. But no, Sean, I think Oliveira can TKO. I really do. And if the odds, this is an odds play too. If Gaethje was the favorite and Oliveira came in at like plus 140, plus 150, I'm probably on the Oliveira side by finish. This is an odds play. Gaethje round 1, round 2 at plus 330. I think for the value of like, because if this fight goes past the second, I don't know how Gaethje wins.
You know, I'm gonna beat you here, and
Good.
I'm actually gonna. So I do agree with you that I think if Gaethje gets a KO, it's most likely early, right? So I do have Justin KO round 1 plus 650, but honestly, so I took a sprinkle on round 4 and round 5 for Gaethje, and I just feel like, look, Oliveira, has he ever gone that far? I don't think he has, right? He's never been to the championship rounds, has he?
Gaethje?
No, Oliveira.
No, he hasn't.
So we don't
He
know.
hasn't had to.
We don't know. So I feel like round 4, round 5, Oliveira hasn't been there. We haven't seen him. We know Gaethje's going to keep that power all 5 rounds if he's not finished. So, yeah, I don't hate Gaethje round 3 for 32-1. I mean, round 5 for 31-1. I like it.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not beating that, but like, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath, and I love it. Gaethje round 5. Can you get
round
a group
4 also? But
round 4, round 5, 32. Round 4.
No.
round 5,
I have each one separate. So I have round 4 for 2,800 and round 5 for 3,100.
You're a crazy man. I love it. I'm clearly not taking that, dude. But I kind of love it. I mean, like, because you're making a case for like, I mean, look, man, you can't make anything about the weigh-ins today. You can't. He didn't look bad. Like, there's no like, he wasn't compromised. It's weird. And look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, Sean, dude, I fucking love Gaethje, dude. He's like my kind of guy, man. I love his mentality. And we haven't talked about this. He's gonna have the home crowd. He's going to be the favorite here by a long shot. He is going to be cheered like a madman. It's weird. Oliveira's just so grossly underrated. He's so talented. And like, you want to talk about the hard way to the title? Oliveira took the hard way to the title in the most competitive division. I love Oliveira. I do. This is just a weird matchup for him. This is like the one guy that like can really fuck him up. And it's the leg kicks that I'm really like, the leg kicks are so bad. Gaethje I love him with Whitman. I love the leg kicks. And, does Gaethje have better takedown defense than Poirier, than Chandler? Yeah, he does. But do we really know that? Not really. We think we do. We keep hearing it, but do we really know? Like,
we hear all about his wrestling background that he never uses.
I mean, here you go. Like here you go. 5 out of 19 for on the Gaethje side. Like, he's only faced 19 takedown attempts. I think that number seems crazy. Has he really faced that many? But I think Oliveira, if Oliveira gets a position, and if Oliveira, I just want to add one more thing about like, because this is something we don't really talk about with these kind of fights, the clinch. I think the clinch battle is really interesting because Gaethje is such a good boxer in the clinch, and Oliveira is really good with the Muay Thai, like really good
the
at
knees.
With the clinch. He really is. So I think the clinch battle is such like a 50-50. Like, is Gaethje hitting him in the body, or is Oliveira landing knees? Like, I think that's like one of the more fascinating elements of this fight that really nobody's talked about. But yeah, I mean, Prince of Mist just bringing up like, well,
I think it'll sway some decisions.
Yeah, well, I'm with Sean on that one, but the home crowd judges, yeah, I think I will say this with the Cortez fight a lot, and with the Luffy fight a lot. I think with the Ferguson fight, we just don't see how he wins by decision. Like, I gotta think that it's a comeback win, or it's like 30-27.
Is Ferguson from Arizona?
He's probably from like anywhere he wants.
I thought he was from Cali for sure.
I'm looking it up right now. He's from it says born in California. Look,
Ventura, California.
Oh, maybe Knuckleheads is out of no, Knuckleheads is out of California too. I don't know. Well, look, maybe just people in Arizona are crazy and they love them. But I can definitely see a couple of, yeah, I mean, Sean, we talked about this earlier in the show. Like, yeah, we agree, dude.
You're not wrong,
Like, a
Sean.
lot of these people, Sean, a lot of these people you're bringing up are live. Like, in all fairness, Sean, like, go back and watch the early parts of the show. We talk about all that stuff. Like, we like those props and seeing, like, does it matter if, like, is Carlossi's, like, win condition better than, like, a Luffy decision? Like, that's kind of the point of the show. There's tons of shows that do analysis all week. Like, there's Clint shows, there's Brady's, there's Wheezy's, like, tons of people doing content all week. This is kind of like we're winding the week down. We're just looking for, like, the craziest fun bet we can make on fights and trying to do something a little different. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank all you guys for tuning in. We made it, guys. We made it past the main event. I can't top plus 3,100 for your craziness. We try to have fun here, guys. We really hope you enjoy the show. Still a lot of people. We went an hour and 16 minutes. This is our longest show by far, but it's one of the more important cards we've ever done in all our 3 weeks. Mike, tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up.
Well, first off, my camera is blurry and that's bothering me. So sorry about that. But yeah, so I do 2 shows a week other than this one. This is my favorite one by far, honestly. But I do 2 other shows. Every Tuesday around 8, 9 o'clock, I break down the card that's coming up. The basic analysis, how I see it. And then Wednesday, I do a fantasy show. It's just fantasy apps like DraftKings, Prize Picks in particular. I've been slowly pivoting away from DraftKings just because, there's shows I like better than my own for that aspect, but I really like what I do for Prize Picks. So yeah, come check me out.
So just so you guys know, I'm going to quick plug a show that has nothing to do with our network, but the Lambo show's in 15 minutes. Go give Narco Cop a like. Go give Tim Troiano a like. Those guys are hilarious. They get Sean Order on tonight. That's just, if you think our props are crazy, they're going, Mushroom will tell you. If you think our props are crazy, they'll go a little crazier, sort of. It's a little different concept, but, like, there's a lot of fun, too. Thank you, too, Mushroom. You can find me at Lou Betcha on Twitter, but I don't care about me ever. Like, MMA Engine. Please follow our channel. Like and subscribe. I'm supposed to say that as Looty Pie. Can I say Looty Pie? Can I be Looty Pie? Does that make me more money to be Looty Pie?
Jorge, he's good. Watch this. Spliff. See?
There you go. Your dog's name is Spliff? That's pretty funny.
His name is Spliff.
Just follow the channel. But more importantly, like, we do shows all week. I did a bunch of shows with Brady being out all week. If you guys could, it's not even on our network. We did like a DraftKings special on Pub Sports on Wednesday, and watch Mike's DraftKings special. It's a good, like, different perspective. Weezy and I did Prop Billy last night. That was a blast. I think we were both kind of not sober. I mean, it was Cinco de Mayo. We were having a good time. We weren't drinking together, but that would have been fun. But guys, like, enjoy your night. Good luck tomorrow. More importantly, like, really good luck tomorrow, guys. Whatever you do, it's a fun fight card. Oh, and the bonus pick. I'm rolling with the 6 in the Derby. I'm rolling with Messier. I got the 6 and the 10. Zandon, Zach the box. If you want to go somebody underneath as a third, the Japanese horse, Crown Pride, UAB horses, Japanese horses also do not do well in Derby. I like what I've seen from Crown Pride. We're not playing Who Farted as Monk would like me to. I like what I've seen from Crown Pride as an underneath, as a third. Messier, 9.5 to 1. Zandon, 3.5 to 1. Like both horses. Watch the movement on Epicenter, but I really like those 2 horses the most. Messier is the Baffert horse, even though there's no Baffert horse in this race because he's banned. Bullshit. He's the Baffert horse. And if you like a poke on Taifa at the 12, great. The huge bet, the true bet I'm giving away, if your book offers winner of the Derby to have an even number, it is minus 130 on Bovada. You get Taifa, you get Zandon, you get Messier, you get the 3 top horses I like. Mushroom, Exact the Box, 610. How you doing? Keep it moving. In that case, you want Messier to win. Trifecta, throw Crown Pride underneath, Mushroom. Crown Pride is the third. I forget the number, but throw Crown Pride. That is the one I like the most. If you want to do a trifecta box with the 6, the 10, and the 12 with Taifa, I don't hate it. Taifa's only had 2 races. I just can't go too heavy on that horse. But I like what I've seen in the 2 races. Keep in mind, it is going to be muddy as fuck tomorrow with the Derby. You want a horse that's a good mutter. If you want to do your research, look up the horses that are good mutters. I don't think Epicenter is going to run well in this. I don't think Mo Donegal is going to run well in this. Not being a good mutter, never having run in the dirt and being against the rail. The 6, the 10, and the 12. But if you want to throw Crown Pride in there, I endorse it. Guys, have a great night. Thank you for showing up. Let's go win big, guys. Take care. God bless. God bless.